Unemployment in the state reached a record high in October at 8.2%. And now another major Bay Area employer is bracing for change. Yahoo's co-founder Jerry Yang announced this week that he will be stepping down as CEO after taking the reins just a year ago. The troubled Silicon Valley company turned down a buyout offer by Microsoft earlier this year and struggles to compete against search engine giant Google. David Spark, what does this really mean for Yahoo's future?
It means that they have to make a big decision and be very public about their direction and where they're going. They have not been clear about their direction. The question is, are they a media company? Are they a search and technology company? Are they prepping themselves to be bought out? Or are they going to do something else? And I think the decision of who that next CEO will be very clear, or hopefully they'll be very clear about what they're going to do, what their goal and their strategy is going to be down the line.
They've already announced at least layoffs within the firm.
Yes.
Could this further shake the employment?
Let's hope not. I mean, the reason Jerry Yang stepped down is just he was getting beaten pretty badly. I mean, Carl Icahn went after him. Microsoft was trying to buy them, and he kept shunning them. The stockholders were after him. Why'd you turn that down? And so this was a man who actually took the job as CEO where he really didn't want it. And so he was just kind of holding on, and just the last straw that broke the camel's back was the Google-Yahoo partnership deal to handle the search, which kind of fell through because of the pressure from the Department of Justice. Google pulled out, and that was pretty much the last straw. And Jerry Yang decided, I should step down.
Where will they turn? What kind of expertise? That's what you said is the key as to direction.
So where will they turn? I mean, it's, who knows? The previous CEO was Terry Semel, who came from Warner Brothers from Los Angeles. There was an attempt, is this going to be a big media company now? There were a lot of attempts on that. I think the failures that people see of Yahoo are really not that bad. They've had these big shows that did very poorly online, but when you get right down to it, Yahoo's media is pretty darn huge. They're the #1 news site. I believe they're second only to YouTube in terms of videos streamed. So they actually are a pretty big media entity.
I looked at their stock before I came over tonight, and you can see where back when Microsoft was thinking about buying them, it was $30 a share? Then
a little bit lower than that.
Lower, yeah. And then it is now like $9 or something.
Yes.
And then after Microsoft said this week that they are still not interested, it dropped even more.
Dropped down to about $9. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's public opinion. Let me say the sort of very strong things about Yahoo. The thing that's negative is that their stock price is so darn low. And, Steve Ballmer, CEO of Microsoft, announced, we're not going to buy them. Well, how often as we as the public are that much on the inside of what's going on in negotiations? It's obviously a negotiation plot to keep the stock price of Yahoo very, very low so they can get a nice, purchase price for them. I think that's probably what's happening. But the positive things that are happening for Yahoo, they're still the #1 most trafficked site out there. There have been stats as much as 14% of all internet traffic goes through Yahoo, which is like 80% more than Google. So it's pretty impressive. Plus, they've got billions in cash, so they can weather a storm for a while.
So I know it's an icon, but I kind of wondered, is it really a crisis if Yahoo dies? I mean, they've been they've been around, like 15 years? Like in Silicon Valley, that's forever.
Right.
So
I don't think Yahoo's going to die. Yahoo's acquired many companies. There's actually even talks of Yahoo acquiring AOL. Google could die tomorrow and it would be okay. I mean, there's still other search engines for people to use and still ways for people to monetize and advertise. I mean, there's an enormous number of physical assets that Yahoo has, and people really rely on the site as often a portal. So I don't think it's going to die. I think we're being dissuaded to believe that it's been weakened because Jerry Yang has stepped down and because the stock price is so low.
So you kind of touched on this, but give me an idea of the impact on sort of the average person who doesn't delve in high finance and maybe doesn't work for the company. But how's this going to affect us as we troll around the internet?
I don't think it's really going to affect us much at all. In fact, the average person doesn't really need to worry about this. What we were initially talking about, also about the fact the unemployment is so high. I mean, we're on target. The tech sector is on target to lose about 180,000 jobs this year, which is really second to 2003, which was the worst year, was about 228,000 jobs lost.
So Yahoo is healthy as you're describing it. So you don't expect them then to have massive layoffs or anything
Well,
else.
they're already going to have them. They already announced them. But I think the bottom line is they have to make it very, very clear to the public with the arrival of a new CEO as to what their direction is going to be and focus.
Okay, thanks very much. It's good to have some almost really good news. Thank you, David.